Hello friends, welcome back to India for IAS. This is Manjunath Mudod. Topic of this video is methanol poisoning. So in this video we are going to study about what is methanol poisoning. So the basics of alcohol production, then the difference between methanol and ethanol, and a brief study about what is hooch and its production, impact of methanol on the human body, followed by one prelims practice question. So this topic falls under GS3 paper. So it falls under GS3 paper, Science and Technology. So within Science and Technology, General Science. The subtopic is General Science. So this topic is important with respect to Prelims 2025. It is a Prelims exclusive topic. This topic has no relevance to the mains. Recently in Tamil Nadu, because of the Hooch tragedy in Kallakurichi, around 63 people died. So this hooch, it is a spurious liquor. Spurious liquor. So it is a spurious liquor, and it refers to the fake liquor or poor quality liquor. Because of consumption of this spurious liquor, there is more than 63 people died in Kallakurichi. So the term hooch, it comes from Hoochino tribe. Hoochino tribe in Alaska. So this tribe is famous for making strong liquor using crude methods. Unlike branded liquor made in factories with quality control, hooch is made in crude settings. It is made in crude settings. It means there is no quality control, there is no proper method followed. So it is done using crude methods. So the major component of this hooch is methanol, so which is highly toxic to the human body, whereas the drinking alcohol, it contains ethanol, so it is not toxic to the human body. So this is the liquor that is recommended for human consumption. Now we will briefly look into the alcohol production basics. The two main processes involved in the alcohol production are, the first one is fermentation and the second one is distillation. So coming to the fermentation process, so in fermentation process, yeast reacts with the sugar in the form of food grains, fruits, sugar cane, etc. So during heating process, this reaction produces a mixture containing alcohol. So commonly this fermentation process used to make beer or wine. This fermentation stops when alcohol levels get too high, around 14 to 18%, because it becomes toxic for the yeast to produce further alcohol. So the second process is distillation. So this distillation, it separates the alcohol from the fermented mixture through heating and cooling. The different parts of the mixture, they boil at different temperatures. So this fermented mixture which is produced after fermentation, this contains the different components. So during distillation process, these different parts of the mixture, they boil at different temperatures. So this allows the separation of alcohol from water and other components. So this produces a stronger alcoholic beverages, or it is also called as spirits, than the fermentation alone. So it means fermentation produces a mixture containing alcohol, water and other components, whereas the distillation produces alcoholic beverages which are highly stronger compared to the fermentation process. So now we will look into the basics of hooch production. The hooch production uses distillation of a fermented mixture of a locally available yeast and sugar in the form of fruit. Often it is waste fruit. In hooch production, the setup is very basic. It uses a large vat to boil the mixture, then a pipe to capture and carry alcoholic fumes, and another pot where the alcohol condenses. So multiple rounds of distillation are done to make the alcohol stronger. So this is very simple and basic method of alcohol production. Since it is a crude method of production, hooch is made using basic and unsophisticated equipment. So this increases the risk of producing unsafe alcohol. So now we will briefly look into the difference between methanol and ethanol. So ethanol is a safe type of alcohol that can be consumed. It is safe type of alcohol, it can be consumed, whereas methanol, it is highly toxic. Methanol is highly toxic. If one consumes methanol, it severely affects his health. Then there might be fatal also. So during Hooch production, how people end up producing methanol instead of ethanol, we will look into the process. So the first process is distillation process. So during distillation, both ethanol and methanol are concentrated during this process. So during the process of distillation, both ethanol and methanol are concentrated. Methanol boils at lower temperature, whereas the ethanol boils at higher temperature. Usually methanol boils at 64.7 degree Celsius, whereas the ethanol it boils at 78.737 degrees Celsius. If the distillation process is not done correctly, then instead of producing ethanol, we may produce methanol. So we may end up producing methanol, which is highly toxic for human. And consuming this methanol is highly toxic and extremely harmful to the human, and it may cause fatal also. So coming to the role of temperature during the production of methanol. So the safe distillation requires precise temperature control to separate methanol from the ethanol. So commercial distillers, they use sophisticated equipment to maintain accurate temperatures, whereas the hooch makers, they lack such equipment and control, leading to the higher risk of contamination with methanol. Hooch makers also add adulterants to the hooch. So common adulterants include organic waste, battery acid, and industrial methanol. So these adulterants, they can pose heavy health risks such as causing blackouts, memory loss, and severe drunkenness even with small amounts of the alcohol consumption. So the high concentration of dangerous substances like methanol can make hooch deadly. Now we will look into the impact of the methanol on human body. So the first one is methanol toxicity. So this methanol toxicity, it causes vision problems or even blindness. So this methanol is highly poisonous to the human body and it may cause fatal also. It may cause fatal also. Then coming to metabolic acidosis. So the body produces too much acid which the kidneys cannot remove, leading to the serious health problems. So because of the consumption of methanol, the body produces too much acid which the kidneys cannot remove. So this leads to the serious health consequences. Now we will briefly look into the treatment for methanol poisoning, also called Hooch tragedy. So the first one is fomepizole. So it is administered intravenously to counteract the methanol poisoning. So it is an expensive method and it may not be available in all the areas. The second method is ethanol treatment. So in the ethanol treatment, ethanol and water, ethanol and water are used in 1:1 ratio. So 1:1 ratio, and then they treated this mixture is used for the treatment of methanol poisoning. So this mixture it prevents the methanol from converting into harmful toxins. Then it helps the body to flush out the methanol either naturally or through dialysis. So this is all about what is methanol poisoning, difference between methanol and ethanol, and the production of alcohol and hooch, and the treatment for the methanol poisoning. Now we will briefly look into the major difference between methanol and ethanol. So coming to chemical formula, the ethanol chemical formula is C2H5OH, whereas methanol chemical formula is CH3OH. The common names for ethanol are ethyl alcohol or grain alcohol. So whereas methanol, it is called as methyl alcohol or it is also called as wood alcohol. So the source for the formation of ethanol are fermentation of sugars, petrochemical processes, whereas methanol, it is a natural gas. It is produced from natural gas, coal, biomass, and wood distillation. So coming to the uses of the ethanol, it is used in alcoholic beverages, disinfectant, biofuel, solvent, and chemical production. Whereas the methanol, it is used as solvent, it is used as antifreeze agent, it is used as a fuel, and it is used in chemical production and laboratory denaturant. So coming to the toxicity of the both ethanol and methanol. So ethanol is safe in moderate amounts where it is toxic in excess quantity. So methanol, it is highly toxic even in small amounts. So coming to the boiling point of the ethanol is 78.37 degrees Celsius and that of methanol is 64.7 degrees Celsius. Coming to the physical effects of the consumption of ethanol and methanol. So it affects the central nervous system, it acts as a depressant, and it impairs the motor skills and slurred speech. whereas the methanol, it causes headache, dizziness, nausea, vomiting, metabolic acidosis, blindness, then the central nervous system depressions. Coming to the health risks associated with ethanol, so it is a alcohol poisoning. It has a long-term health issues because of the overconsumption, whereas methanol, it causes blindness, organ failure, and death. So coming to the production, the methanol is produced using the fermentation of sugars, whereas methanol, it is naturally produced using natural gas, coal, biomass, etc. So coming to the treatment for poisoning of both ethanol and methanol, supportive care, hydration, and medical interventions are provided. Whereas in the case of methanol, it is fomepizole is administered intravenously, and ethanol and water mixture, and dialysis are provided. So this is all about the difference between ethanol and methanol. So based on the topic that we have discussed so far, that is Hooch tragedy, that is also called as methanol poisoning, and the difference between methanol and ethanol. Here we have provided one Prelims practice question. It contains 4 statements. Go through all the 4 statements and comment your answer. The answer and detailed explanation for this question is available in the PDF handout. The PDF handout also contains the detailed notes of this video, which you can download by joining our Telegram channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.